Hi, everybody. I wanted to just let you guys know that we are kind of in the middle between two massive fires here in British Columbia. If I'm not uploading as regularly, it's because of that. It's very stressful. It's super smoky. We're not even supposed to go outside. And we're just really nervous because the last thing we want is to be evacuated too. So if you could just bear with me. Okay, in this video, I just wanted to touch on, as part of the Painterly Portrait series, what if you didn't want it to be so studio? What if you wanted to get a little bit more creative? And again, this is not with painting, but using painting like techniques and elements. So I'm going to do a couple quick walkthroughs just so that you can see. So for this one in particular, I wasn't a huge fan of the background. This one is strictly window light, and this is straight out of the camera. And the first thing that I did was, if I click here, you can see that I did some overpainting. If you take a look at her dress, this was actually a pantsuit that had a kind of a skirt behind it and a big belt. I wasn't a fan, so I painted that. I painted in the curtains a bit more, and I just cleaned stuff up. And then I wanted to add in one of my oil painting textures, which are available in my store. And looking at the colors in this image, I felt like this really was something that would go well with especially that chair. So this is what it looks like as soon as you purchase it and download. It's very painterly, like with thick oil paint. So I thought this would be great. So once I cut out my subject and put her in front of it, I even cut out the curtain and I just added it in behind. And I'll just take this away real quick. And this is what it looked like when I dragged it in. Then I did a brightness contrast layer, and it made it a little too dark. I wanted to maintain the shine on the oil strokes. So I did a blend if, and if you see over here, I'll double click these and you can see that all I did was split these 2 points from the shadow base over until I just got these highlights. And you can see in my curves, I dragged those highlights all the way over. And because I did that brightness contrast adjustment layer below it, it took quite a bit for it to get over there. That was the effect, which I thought was wonderful. And then, of course, I just did my additional hair retouching. You can take a look at her hair in the curtain. That's essentially all that this layer was. I darkened this area down because I wanted it more in shadow. And then I just finished with my color toning. Okay, so these items can really be helpful when you're looking at maybe sprucing up a boring background. And then I did the same thing over here. So let me just walk you through this. So this one started off, this is our just straight out of the camera shot. I wasn't a fan of the doilies sewn onto the wig, so I came in and did a remove, and then I came in and I changed the purple hair into a more blonde hair and just did a bit of liquify over here. And then I cut her out and I did my retouch, and this is how that looked. And then again, I pulled this layer in behind her. So if we come into our stack, we're going to see that I pulled it in. I did a color vibrance. So let's just turn these off. So essentially it was the same thing. So this was how bright it was when I pulled it in. And then I did a color and vibrance layer because I wanted to just tone those colors down a little bit. Then I did my brightness contrast, and then I darkened down the edges a little bit. And then I went ahead and did my curves with my Blendif just to bring back some of those paint strokes. Okay, and then in here I added one of my new halo headpieces that you can get in my store. If we take a look over here, I did want to share this. So if you take a look here and you zoom in, you're going to see that with the masking, because she was on a very dark background, we have this really dark halo around the hair. So what I did for that was I actually placed the exact same backdrop. I just dragged one along with the exact same brightness contrast layer over top, inverted the mask, and I painted it all around the black halo so it just blended better with the hair. Then I did a levels adjustment, curves, and those are just all of my final tweaks. Along with my halo. And if you take a look over here, so this is my halo. Once you download your massive entire PNG set, this is one of them. This is actually gold, but all you have to do is go and do a saturation layer and completely desaturate it. And that's essentially what you get when you just completely take the saturation out. You're going to get a silver one because you're not always going to want it to be gold, like in this instance. I could have because of the gold in this, but I kind of wanted to go with that whole look. And then I just went ahead and I added my finishing and my color toning. Okay, so just wanted to really get in here quick because I know most of my other lessons have been like, 15, 20 minutes long. This one will be the original presumed supposed to be 5 minutes. But yeah, just these oil painting textures can be used in so many other ways. I know that I've showed you how to use them with pets and wildlife and what have you, but even for like this one, a much more creative type of portrait, or the one that I showed you before, more of a portrait basic one, they still add massive impact to your portraits. Okay, so wish us luck with the fires, and I will see you again soon.